Good morning. You're watching Breakfast Television. I was so excited about you coming in. Jonathan Bailor, The Calorie Myth, How to Eat More, Exercise Less, Lose Weight, and Live Better. I was freaking out yesterday. A New York Times and USA Today best-selling author, 10 tips to sane eating. Okay, I don't remember a time where I wasn't counting calories. Like, I mean, that's a way of life for a lot of people these days. But you're like way back when, people didn't count calories.
Exactly.
And there weren't a lot of overweight people.
That's exactly. In fact, we didn't even know what a calorie was, let alone count them when the rates of obesity were sub 3%. So how can counting calories be the solution?
So what did we do back then that we're not doing today?
We enjoyed whole, natural foods. We didn't fear fat. We ate when we were hungry, and we stopped when we were full. We didn't do math. We focused on food.
So why today? Why are we doing this today?
Today, when you can convince a population that calories are all that matter, you can sell them anything and call it healthy, as long as you shrink the serving size and keep the calorie count down.
So processed food, something processed, as long as it's, it's less than 100 calories in this bag.
Because it's not about food anymore, it's about calories.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so should we not be eating that processed food?
That's exactly right. We should be eating the things we ate before we had an obesity epidemic. Again, it's not about calorie counting, it's about nutrient-dense whole foods, a lot of which have quite a few calories in them.
So this isn't a diet, this is a way of life.
It's the way of life we all lived prior to having all the problems we have today.
It's a really hard thing to do because those products are out there. Yes. Our kids want those products too, to keep away from processed food. But if we eat a healthy diet, you brought some stuff here on the table, this is obviously the healthy choice.
Exactly, and it's really not as hard as starvation dieting, because that's what we've all been told to do. Being hungry is one of the least comfortable and least sustainable things in the world. Eating an abundance of delicious, sweet, fatty, meaty, savory, whole foods is actually quite enjoyable and sustainable.
You can never eat too much spinach.
You can't. Your stomach would feel uncomfortable way before you did.
A little bit. What do you have on this plate, though? Like, I know what you have on this plate.
Yes, so people say, oh, well, this is the healthy plate, this is the unhealthy plate. Well, actually, no, because this isn't about deprivation. Anything that requires deprivation is not going to work long term. And that's why 95.4% of the time starvation dieting and calorie counting has been proven to fail.
Because you're depriving yourself. Because I can't imagine a whole entire lifetime and never have a brownie.
Exactly. So it's not about abstaining from sweets. It's about practicing safe sweeteners.
Okay.
So, for example, these are delicious treats made with coconut flour and safe, natural, non-caloric sweeteners such as stevia or xylitol. So you can enjoy them. Again, you're just not using grains and processed sugars. You're using healthy whole food fats and natural non-caloric sweeteners.
It just seems so simple.
Ironically, health isn't hard. It's just been made to seem that way because there's a lot of money to be made off of sick and sad people, unfortunately. Okay,
we really are, we are what we eat.
We are.
We are.
We are.
So if we are what we eat, we should really be thinking about what we're putting into our mouth all the time. What are we eating?
It's a very intimate action, right? You're actually taking something and you're putting it into your body. So taking some time to think about and embrace and celebrate that, right? Food isn't our enemy, and that's one of the problems with calorie counting, is it paints food as a negative thing that's to be avoided, whereas when you think about food as nutritional therapy, the things that actually heal the underlying causes of obesity when eaten correctly and in abundance, changes everything.
So how do we change all of a sudden now? How do we change our ways? We've been living this way for such a long time. How do we change?
I think we need to get back to savoring, first and foremost, the taste of fat. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, but for example, when you tell someone just eat vegetables and they assume that they have to eat them raw or steamed, they're just going to say, nope, no vegetables. But when you can saute them in delicious, healthy fats, it makes vegetables easy to eat. It overcomes your fear of fat. It helps you re-regulate the hormone insulin, and then you naturally don't crave all the starches and sweets and processed foods that underlie obesity.
And maybe not have them in the house?
Exactly. If
they're not there.
Yep, and if you're not hungry, it's a lot easier to avoid them as well.
Because we do. We eat when we're not hungry, but we emotional eat, you know? Like we're, upset. It's Blue Monday today.
Exactly. And it's not
People are eating today.
And it's not about not eating. No. I emotionally eat all the time, just on the right things.
On the right things.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you so much. For more information, please visit thecaloriemythbook.com. You can always go to breakfasttelevision.ca to get all the information. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Heading in.